Chief Investment Strategist at SJS Markets. Hello there. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
First, your reaction to this RBS report. Billions and billions of dollars reported to be lost during this last year. Just how vulnerable is this bank?
The bank is very vulnerable because it already lost most of its market capitalization last year, and now it turns out that the muted 20 billion pounds of losses is going to be added to what they suffered in 2008. Luckily, more than half of it is in goodwill, so it's not like they lost it on regular operations, but the sort of normal operations also was very loss-making, so a lot of trouble for the bank.
So is RBS nearing a too-big-to-fail scenario?
I think it is too big to fail. It's one of the biggest ones in the UK, and I cannot imagine the government letting the bank go down because of the huge impact it would have on the real economy that is going to be in deep recession this year anyway.
The UK Prime Minister, Gordon Brown, is set to announce later today a new government bank bailout plan. Can you walk us through the mechanics of it? I mean, how do you force banks to start re-lending to each other?
Well, the government is trying to have a bargain with the banks by telling them that if they promise to extend new loans to businesses and consumers, the government will guarantee their existing assets against future losses. And the banks actually pretty much don't have a choice, because these losses can spiral out of control to the point that they could actually fail. So I think they will have to accept the bargain.
Okay, they'll accept the deal, but is it going to work?
If they are forced legally to extend new loans, then there's a good chance that the economy will be stimulated, because the money is necessary for consumers to have the financial resources to spend and for businesses to have the resources to invest.
Okay, we've had some pretty dismal news come out of the financial industry quite recently. I mean, over the weekend, from Citigroup, from Bank of America, they need another fresh injection of government aid. We're hearing this report about RBS. How much money can we throw at the problem? Because I can only imagine a lot of taxpayers out there, whether they're from the US or the UK, are scratching their heads and saying, are we helping the situation, or are we throwing our money into a bottomless pit?
Well, the pit is really very deep. However, I still believe that without huge taxpayer bailouts, we would all have been much worse off. And the example of what happened in Japan when the bailout was much delayed in the 1990s is a scenario that shows us the detrimental effect of letting the economy go on a downward spiral. It's in the end better to run up a huge fiscal deficit in the short term to stimulate growth and worry about the budget situation later.
So these financial giants out there could be very wounded, but you could still save them.
Well, if the government provides enough capital, then they will be saved, because they will have enough money to continue their operations, and this is necessary for the economy.
Because what about the economic theory of creative destruction, right? That you let the decliners fall and you let the rising upstarts thrive. Does that apply in a situation like this?
Well, this theory is good when things are generally moving in the right direction. But as the Great Depression experience shows us, you cannot apply it in stressful situations, because the downside for the life of real people and real companies is just too negative.
All right, Darius, thank you for that. Darius,
thank you for having me.
Of SJS Markets, thank you very much.